Loomers, and Happy New Year to you all! Welcome back for another one of my loony tutorials. Today we're going to be making a hook-only bracelet again by Loomer Guy, and it's called Commanding Officer. Now you might know his name from the very fun and beginner-friendly Gearhead bracelet on my channel that we made a while back with the neon colors. And this design was created by him back in 2015, so even longer ago, and he has since moved on from looming, as you know. But I have a few more of his designs up my sleeve, so stay tuned for that. Back then, in the early days of looming, there was a way to fold your bands over each other called the scrolling technique, and this design by Loomer Guy is his own spin on that. So it is a super loony and fun design, so very suitable for my channel, eh? I really love how plump and chunky it is too, and look how it looks on the side. It's very thick and plump, you see. It looks gorgeous. Yeah, I really like the 3D designs, as you know. And heads up, this is the loony part. One of the very many loony parts. You will need 2 hooks for this. What? Yes. 2 regular hooks will work well too. So it's not necessary to have 2 double-ended hooks. You can even work with 2 of your regular loom hooks, or 1 double-ended one and 1 regular one. It all works, don't worry. The design is really easy, and I would call it beginner friendly, but yeah, that's all in the eye of the beholder, shall we say, right? I'll go slow and steady so you can just follow along with me, of course. Now hang on to the end of this video, because I will definitely tell you the tags and everything you can use when you post your creation again, so that both me and Loomer Guy can see them too. And I will also tell you how you can contact me if you want me to make a tutorial for one of your own designs. Okay? Then, commanding officer on deck. Let's grab some stuff and let's get looming. To make this bracelet, you will need 2 hooks, as I mentioned before, and you can definitely use 2 regular hooks for this design. Because you will be needing 2 hooks anyway, turning your bracelet around to work on the other side is pretty easy, because you can just put your creation that you have so far on your other hook, right? I would advise you to use a double-ended hook as your main hook though, to work with, and as for the extra hook, it doesn't really matter, but a regular hook felt easier for me personally. So you will have your creation on your double-ended hook, so you can slide and turn it easier, and for the extra work we're going to do, I will be using my regular hook, but it's totally up to you. Just use whatever you have to. We will be needing a C-clip for closing purposes, of course, and my personal advice is always put your C-clip on your cap band just to keep it in check, and it just makes way more sense for hook only designs to put your C-clip on as soon as you start making the bracelet. As you know, I will be using my stitch marker first and put my C-clip on later, just because that's easier for me. I will be using 4 colors in this bracelet in the same color scheme as this one over here, but you can choose whatever colors you want to, of course. I will be laying out a pattern for you later. I will always tell you what part of the bracelet the bands that we add correspond to. Okay, so you can match your own colors up with that. Please remember, you can always pause the video to catch up, rewind to watch something again, and of course you can always speed me up if I'm going too slow for you. I will always put timestamps in my tutorials as well, so you can find certain parts really quickly by just clicking the timestamps or the chapters in the description box or under the description box. Okay? Grab 2 hooks and let's go! Woohoo! Before we start working on the actual pattern or repeating that, we always need to put some bands on our hook first. And I've said it before, all beginnings and endings of hook-only designs are always a little bit different from the rest of the pattern. So that's why I always make a little section first and then explain and lay out the pattern for you, okay? And of course I will be putting the thumbnails in the corner as well. We're going to start by putting a cap band on our hook, as usual. And I always grab one in the same color as the one that you see running throughout here. I call that the base color, okay? So to make the cap band, you simply place the band on your hook, give it a twist and put the other end on your hook. And I always use my little stitch marker to keep my cap band in check, and I highly recommend you just putting your C-clip or easy clip on there to make closing later easier and to keep your cap band in check, or use a stitch marker like I do. And the next band that we're going to pull through will also be in our base color, and you're simply pulling that under both loops of the cap band and close it up. So you don't pick anything back up, you simply pull it through, and close it up, like so. And now the next band that we're going to add will also be in our base color, and you're simply going to pull it under the first loop on your hook. Don't pick anything back up, close it up, like so. Now we're going to slide and turn and do the same thing on the other side. You're going to add one band under that first loop. So you pull it under the first loop, like so, and close it up. There we go. Okay, this is what we're looking for. Okay. Now here comes the first loony step of this tutorial. What we're going to do is pull through 3 bands simultaneously, and we're going to capture these middle 2 bands with them. So we're going to pull it under the first 3 loops on our hook and only grab band number 1, pick up band number 1. Now it is very important that these bands that we're pulling through always stay in the same order. So I will also post them in a thumbnail in the corner later, but I will put them here in the background for now. So I'm going to start with my purple and then my teal and then my white. And don't worry, you can always untangle and make sure that they're in the correct order later on. For now, just work on pulling them through simultaneously. That's hard enough as it is. Okay, now you're going to want to, it is definitely easier with a Loom hook, by the way, or with your regular hook even, but just take your time. Don't give it a little bit of tension here, and sliding them on might even be easier than pulling on your hook. Know what I mean? So just push them over the edge, like so. See what I'm doing? So I'm having some tension on the 3 bands that I want to pull through. And instead of pulling them through, I'll just slide them over. That's just as easy as, well, as you can see, it's still finicky, but it's just as easy as pulling and tugging on your bands, okay? There we go. And now we're only going to pick up loop number 1 and close it up. Now, of course, these bands, you see, they will go all over the place and definitely will not stay in the correct order. Don't worry about that. Just keep an eye on the order that you wanted, right? Because what we're going to have to do now is flip all these 3 bands over this band. So it's easiest if you just pull band number 1 under all 3, or you can use your fingers for that if that is easier for you. Grab all 3 of these bands and push them over the hook and over that first loop, right? Do the same thing on the other side. Here you can pull this loop under all 3, like so. Now you flip them over. Now look at that mess that I made. So you definitely, after doing this and flipping your bands over the edge, you definitely just want to correct the order that they're in a little bit, like so. See? And of course, later on, when you finalized your bracelet, you can always untangle them a little bit too. You know, that's just how it works when you're looming, right? Okay, so this is what we're looking for. Make sure that they stay in the same order. And now I'll go and show you the next loony part. And for that, we're going to need our extra hook. Okay, now let's look at what we have on our hook so far. Make sure that the bands are in the correct order. Band number 1 should be at the bottom, band number 2 in the middle, and then we have band number 3 at the top on both sides. See? What we're going to do is just grab a hold of the piece that you have so far. We're going to stick our hook under band number 1. Grab band number 2 that's there in the middle and pull it through band number 1, like so. See? Make a little room on your hook, and now you're grabbing the topmost band, which is band number 3, and you're pulling that through band number 2, like so. And then you're going to put that band on the hook that you're working with, like that. Okay, so we've scrolled these bands together. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that your bands stay in the right order, right? We have color number 1 at the bottom, 2 in the middle, 3 at the top. So we're going to stick our hook through band number 1 at the bottom. We're going to grab band number 2 in the middle, like so. make a little room on your hook, go past the band that you just went through, and then pick up band number 3 at the top here, and pull that through band number 2, and put it on your hook, like so. Now, isn't that quirky? Isn't that loony, I should say? This is what we have now. Now to continue, you're going to grab some bands in the base color, and you're going to pull one band under all 4 loops on your hook. And here comes the next loony part. Another one, yeah, another one. You've pulled that band through, and now you're going to pick up the band that's color number 1 from the outside. So you're going to tilt your hook. On the outside, you pick up band number 1 and put it on your hook, like so. And we're doing the same thing on the other side. Slide everything to the other side. We're going to tilt our hook and pick up band number 1, color number 1 I mean, and put it on your hook, like so. Now it looks a bit like a hot mess now, but it will all work out in the end, I promise. Okay, now we're going to grab another band in our base color, and you're going to add that band under the first 2 loops on your hook. So you're going to pull it through and close it up. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Pull it through the first 2 loops and close it up. And now we're at the start of the pattern again, where we can put the 3 bands on the middle 2 bands, right? The middle 2 loops I mean. So we're going to grab color number 1, color number 2, color number 3. And we're going to do the same thing as we did just now. Slide these over, 1, 2, 3. Only pick up band number 1. Don't forget to do that. Close it up. Switch position, make sure that that band number 1 is on the outside. And now you want to flip over your 3 bands over band number 1 again, or pull it under, which I find easier to do. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. Drop those 3 bands over band number 1 and over the edge, like so. Correct your bands. Make sure that number 1 is at the bottom, 2 is in the middle, and 3 is up top. You have a nice little sandwich going, like so. And now we're going to do that scrolling again. Now for that, we're going to have to pick up our extra hook again. And we're doing the same thing. Grab the piece that you have made so far. That's just easier. That prevents your bands from moving all over the place too. Okay, just grab it like so if you can. Then you stick your hook under the first color. You grab the second color and you pull it through the first color, like so. Then you go over that first color and you grab color number 3, that's at the top. And you pull that through color number 2, which leaves color number 3 on the hook that you're scrolling with. And you're going to put that on the hook that you're working with, like so. Slide and turn, and we're doing the same thing on the other side. Stick your hook through color number 1, grab color number 2, which should be in the middle, pull that through color number 1, the bottommost band. Then we're grabbing the topmost band, if I can get a hold of it. There we go, and you're going to pull it through then color number 2, and you put that on your hook. Okay, now as you can see, that color number 1 band is always a little bit loose and floppy and all over the place, but we're fixing that by pulling through our base color band now under all 4 loops on our hook with some extra fluff I see. Like so. We're going to tilt our hook again and pick up color number 1 from in between the bands at the side here, color number 2, okay? So don't pick up this floppy bit here, but pick it up right in the middle between color number 2, put it on your hook. I'm going to do the same thing, slide and turn. And we want to grab this part here, color number 1. Put it on your hook, like so. And now we're going to add 1 base colored band on either side again to get back to the start of our pattern. So you pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook. Just close it up. Do the same thing on the other side. Base colored band, pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook and just close it up like so. And we're back at the start of the pattern again. Now we can pull our 3 bands through. Now wasn't that loony? Keeping your 3 bands in the correct order is definitely the hardest part here, but once you've done a few sections you will get the feeling for it, and it works out pretty quick then. Now let me lay out the pattern for you and put a few thumbnails up there, okay? Now adding your base colored bands on either side is the start of the pattern. That's where we ended up just now, that's this, right? And then we're going to add our 3 bands simultaneously. Now it is a good idea to write down the colors you're using so that you always put them on your hook in the same order. Or I always have my little balls of bands in the same order on my table, or sometimes I just put a little note in my balls with the number on it so I don't forget. I will number the bands in the pattern in an extra thumbnail for you too, so you know where your 3 bands are going to end up. The bottom one is color number 1, the middle one is color number 2, and the top one is color number 3. Okay, so as you can see here, color number 1 is ending up on the outside here. Color number 2, my teal, are these 2 lines here, and color number 1 is kind of these little curvy shapes here. Okay, now we're grabbing our secondary hook then to do the scrolling, and then we added 1 extra base colored band, and we grabbed our color number 1 from the outside by tilting our hook, remember? And then we were back to the top of the pattern here already by adding our 2 base colored bands on either side. Okay, so let's get back to it. So back to our bracelet, and we already had the first part of the pattern done. That was adding those 2 base colored bands on either side. So now we're ready to pull our 3 bands through simultaneously again. So make sure they're in the same order the whole time. For me that was purple, teal, and then white. Okay, and we're going to pull those under the first 3 loops on our hook, or slide those 3 loops over them, whatever you find easier. Okay, and then you're going to pick up loop number 1 and close it up with all 3. Make sure loop number 1 is on the outside, like so. And now we want to pull loop number 1 under those 3 colored bands, or flip them over, whatever, oops, don't lose it. Whatever is easier for you, pick them up and drop them over the edge, or pull loop number 1 under those 3 colored bands. Do the same thing on the other side. Pull loop number 1 under those 3 bands, like so. And now we want to make sure that our sandwich is in the correct order, right? So for me that's purple at the bottom, teal in the middle, and white at the top. And now we want to grab our extra hook. And we're going to do the scrolling technique again. So you're going to put your extra hook under band number 1 on the outside. Grab band number 2, which is in the middle. Pull it through band number 1. Make a little room on your hook. Then grab the topmost band, that's your 3rd color. Pull it through your 2nd color and put that 3rd color on the hook that you're working with. Okay, now we're doing the same thing on the other side. Make sure that your bands are in the correct order. Mine luckily are. Put your other hook under color number 1. Grab color number 2. Oops, that's a little bit too many. Grab, come here, where are you? I'm stuck. Grab color number 2, pull it through. Then go over and grab color number 3 and pull it through color number 2 and put it on your hook, like so. And then we have the last step. We're pulling our base colored band under all 4 loops on our hook, like so. And then what we did was pick up color number 1 from the outside. So we tilt our hook, grab color number 1 on this side, slide and turn, and do the same thing on the other side. Usually that band is poking out a little bit already, like so. And now we can start the pattern again. So by adding the 2 base colored bands on either side. So I will be putting a timestamp right here that says pattern repeat, and I will repeat the pattern with you a few more times. So you can always go back to this point if you want to continue making the pattern together. Now if you got it from here, I will see you back when your bracelet is long enough and you're back at this point as well, at the start of a new section, so that I can show you how you can make a nice finish on your bracelet and where you can put your C-clip on, okay? So to start, we're going to be adding 2 base colored bands on our hook again, and you're going to do that on either side by pulling the base colored band under the first 2 loops on your hook, close it up, do the same thing on the other side, pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook, and close it up. And now we're ready to pull those 3 bands through simultaneously again. Make sure they stay in the same order as you've been using the whole time. So for me that's purple, then teal, then white. And you're either pulling those 3 bands under the first 3 loops on your hook or slide those 3 loops over, whatever works for you. 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to only pick up loop number 1, like so, close it up, and then you want loop number 1 to be on the outside. And then you're either going to drop these 3 bands over the edge and over loop number 1, or you drag loop number 1 under those 3 bands. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I find that dragging that loop number 1 under those 3 bands is easiest, like so. Now we want these bands to stay in the same order the whole time, so my purple should be at the bottom, so I need to fix it a little bit, like so. White at the top, so we have our nice sandwich again. Okay, then we're grabbing our extra hook and we're going to stick it under color number 1, grab color number 2 and pull it through color number 1. Then we're going to the top and pick up color number 3 and pull that under color number 2 and put color number 3 on the hook that you're working with. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure your bands are in the correct order, which they luckily are. Put your hook under color number 1, grab the middle color, color number 2, drag it under color number 1, and then do the same thing but with the topmost band. Pull it through the band you have on your hook and put it on the hook that you're working with, like so. And now we're ready to pick up that color number 1 from the outside again. So to do so, you pull 1 base colored band under all 4 bands on your hook, like so. Close it up, tilt your hook and pick up color number 1 from in between those bands that are color number 2, okay? Pick that up, put it on your hook. Same thing on the other side, pick up color number 1 from the outside and put it on your hook. And now we're going to be adding our 2 base colored bands on either side again, because we're back at the start of a new section. Same thing on the other side. Pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook, close it up, and then we're going to add our 3 bands simultaneously again in the same order. For me, purple, teal, and white. Whoops, they went all over the place there. Purple, teal, and white. Here we go. And slide over those 3 loops or pull your 3 bands under them, whatever works for you. pick up band number 1, close it up, move band number 1 to the outside, and drag it under those 3 loops. Same thing on the other side. I'm dragging mine under those 3 colored loops. There we go. Make sure that your sandwich is in the correct order, which mine definitely is not. It hardly ever is. Some designs are just a little bit more finicky than others, guys. I really love how this comes out and the quirky steps that we're doing. Nice and loony. Okay, now we're going to grab, let me tug on this a little bit, our extra hook again, and we're going to do the scrolling. So you stick it under the bottommost loop, pick up the middle loop, drag it under the bottommost, pick up the topmost loop and drag that under the loop that you have on your hook. Put it on the hook that you're working with, slide and turn, do the same thing on the other side, put your hook under color number 1, grab color number 2 and drag it through, and then grab color number 3 and drag that through and put it on your hook like so. And the last step then, adding our base colored band under all 4 loops on our hook like so. Tilt your hook and don't grab the loose floppy bit here, but grab color number 1 from in between color number 2, those curly bits here, like so. Same thing on the other side, tilt your hook and grab color number 1 from the outside, like so. Nice and loony. There we go. And back to another section. So I'm going to do one more section with you, and if you need more help after that, you can just go back to where it says pattern repeat, and otherwise I will meet you back when you're at this point and I will show you how you can finish your bracelet. Okay, so last section together. Pull your base colored band under the first 2 loops on your hook, and we do this on both sides. Add your base colored band under 2 loops like so. Add your 3 colored bands in the same order as you've been doing this whole time, and either pull or slide, whatever works for you. Like so. Pick up loop number 1 and close up your sandwich. Make sure that loop number 1 is on the outside, and I'm dragging loop number 1 with me. There we go. Same thing on the other side. Drag loop number 1 under, or grab those 2 bands, 3 bands I mean, and drop them over the edge. Wow, what a mess, look at that. So we definitely need to fix that. Let me see what I can do. There we go. Here we have our sandwich again. Grab your extra hook, put it under loop number 3, grab loop number 2, color number 2, drag it under, grab color number 3 and drag that under and put that on the hook that you're working with. Slide and turn, and we're doing the same thing on the other side. Are your bands still in the right order? Yes. Okay, put your hook through the bottommost loop, grab the middle one, pull it through, and grab the top one and pull it through and put that one on your hook. And then we're ready to pull our final band of this section through, and that is our base colored band again, and you're going to pull it under all 4 loops on your hook. Close it up and pick up that color number 1 band from the outside. Same on the other side. Always make sure that you pick it up from in between those 2 loops of color number 2, right? So that's that band right here. Put it on your hook. And that's the end of another section. Now, if you want to do a few more of these sections together until your bracelet is long enough, you can just go back to where it says pattern repeat in that chapter, and we can finish up a few more sections together. But if your bracelet is long enough, what you can do is simply pull one last base colored band under all 4 loops on your hook, as it is now, so at the very end of the pattern, and just close it up, and here you can put your C-clip on. And there you have it, your very fun and chubby and super loony commanding officer by Loomer Guy. Well, that was that loony design, my loony loomers. I hope you all had fun making this super cute and quirky bracelet by Loomer Guy. I bet you all got the hang of it once you had a few sections done, right? Now, don't be afraid to ask me for help if you do need more help, okay? I will be always happy to help you out. Just send me a private message if I'm around. I will definitely answer you ASAP. Now, when you have made this bracelet and you post it on social media, please make sure to tag me and Loomer Guy in the pictures and use the hashtags you see on your screen right now so we can admire your creations. And of course, I'll post these in the description box below as well. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel with the button you see right here. Come find me on Instagram too for more of my content and creations, and give me a follow over there. The link is in the description box below. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to message me here on Facebook or on Instagram. Shoot me a private message if you want to. You will always be welcome. And should you have made a design you want me to make a tutorial for, please feel free to contact me for that as well. Just send me some pictures if you can, and we'll see if I can make a tutorial for you too. Okay, now stay tuned, turn on your notifications for more of my designs and tutorials coming up. Stay colorful, stay creative, and most of all, stay loony. That's all, folks.